gone mad. Sports betting preview for the weekend ahead, and what a weekend it's going to be. We said last week was a bit of a quiet one. Well, we can't say the same now. We got Super Rugby starting, Six Nations starting, Australian Open semi-finals tomorrow, finals on the weekend, Sydney Sevens, English Premier League. You can go on, and let's not forget, perhaps the highlight of them all for many punters, the Sun Met. And that's going to be something we're going to talk about quite a bit today. But Gary, just as well, we're starting this show early at 8:15 because it's a cracking weekend of sport ahead.
No, absolutely. Evening, Brent. Evening, everybody. The truth of the matter is we could go till 12 o'clock tonight and still never cover everything. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, you know. So, yeah, let's just see what we can get through. Let's see what prizes we can give away. Let's see where we can go. We must, I think from the outset, Brent, I think we need to tell the guys the new prizes that we've got. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be important that they all understand that. I don't want anybody to come and say we never told them. So I don't know if you want me to just go ahead and
I think you can go ahead, but what I will say before you go ahead, I've got it scrolling down there. I put the link because we've got the terms and conditions and we've updated them on the Good for the Game website. So if the guys are on YouTube and they look at the description, I've actually put the link there. So all they've got to do is click and have a look. But I think definitely important that you run through it with the guys.
Okay, so what we're doing from now with immediate effect, you can only win up to a maximum of what you've wagered in the previous 2 weeks. So even if we give a 10,000 Rand prize, if you've only spent 30 Rand with GG Gaming, you can only win 30 Rand of it. But you will get that 30 Rand of it. If you spend more than 10 grand, you get the whole 10,000 Rand. So whatever it is. And we're going to run a lot of competitions this week. And that counts for the cumulative total that you can collect on a week, on any one given show. So just bear that in mind. The more you spend, the more, and it's not to make people spend more. Just there have been people that have been taking competitions that don't spend any money with us, Brent. And
no, fair enough. You always voucher hunters, I guess.
Money. Yeah, exactly. So we want the guys that support us to get most of the benefits. So that kicks in with immediate effect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to incentivize the guys by saying that next week, every single line that we have this week, Brent, will double up next week. So you're going to have to keep a note of that because we're going to do something on every Super Rugby game, whether it be total points or whatever it is. And whatever we give away this week, whatever we offer to give away, we're going to give away double next week. And maybe not in the horse racing side because I think there is a Phillies Guineas in Gauteng next week. But we'll definitely in the sport, whatever we give away, we'll double it up next week.
Excellent. Well, the boys are in the live chat, and Sean, that's my one there. Sean Nicholas saying, "Good idea, Gary." And I like the way you're doing it, Gary, because, like you said, it's not that you want, it's not that you're forcing the guys to bet, but ultimately, this is for people. We're supporting each other here. You're supporting the punters, and the punters are supporting GG Gaming as well. Just a couple of names I see out there. I saw Steve Reed. Haven't seen him on for a while. Steve, good to see you on the show. Ruan Faree, good that your power's still holding. I know you said he was having some load shedding tonight. So good to see all the boys there. But, Gary, let's climb straight into the sport, I think, because there really is so much to talk about.
Brent, can I just ask one question first, and we'll get on to the sport? And that's just
sure.
A simple yes or no. And I don't want to get into the details or mention anything, but was he happy with the resignation that came through yesterday in racing? I just need him to put up there a yes or a no. I can't. If it's not over here, then he can just see it, show it to you, and you'll tell me what he says. You know what I'm saying, Brent? But I've seen he's been quite vocal and everything, and, with good reason. And I mean, he's really been fighting a good fight then. I just want to know if he's happy with that. But we won't get into that now. Let's kick off straight with the sport, Brent.
Excellent. Yeah, just to welcome Christopher Rowe. Good to have you on the show as well. And let's get into the sport. Gary, where do you want to start? Because, I mean, we've got Super Rugby, I would imagine. And just to touch on again that on Sunday, I'll be doing my handicap show early. And we won't necessarily hook up together every weekend, but you're going to be out early with your handicaps every weekend, every Sunday. Sometimes we'll do the show together. Sometimes I'll comment on your handicaps, whatever. But the point being is that we're going to be out early, and there's going to be opportunity for guys to get stuck in early.
Every single Sunday at about 12 noon, we'll have our line out. If you prefer to do it as a showstopper or whatever you want to call it, Brent, and do it at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, we can do that. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Even if we come at 2 o'clock, we're still going to be probably 14 hours ahead of Tab New Zealand. So we'll definitely be first out. We'll work together and see 12 o'clock on the site or 2 o'clock making it live with you. Whichever way you want to do it, we'll do it that way. But we're definitely going to be out no later than 2 o'clock if you want to do it on the show, or 12 noon if not.
No, that's fine. We'll have a look. Because some Sundays, for example, if I'm not there in the afternoon, I'll do my video early, and then I can comment, and then the guys, we can refer them to you guys and tell them what time you're out with prices so that they can compare my handicaps for what it's worth to your handicaps and see if they want to have a fire.
Okay, cool, brilliant. Right, you want to kick off with the rugby?
Let's kick off with the rugby, Gary. I've just had a look this week. To me, I've noticed there's been money for the Blues on the handicap, money for the Sharks on outright. Big move, Stormers from the early caps as well. A lot of people backing the Stormers against the Hurricanes. What have you seen from your side?
And a bit of money for the Reds as well, Brent. We've seen a little bit down at the Reds. So I just want to say something. With the Stormers, if the guys ever need to go to a home game in Cape Town, just let me know. I'm not promising, but I'm 99% sure that I can get you good seats in the grandstand that you won't have to pay for. So anytime you want to go to a Stormers game, just let me know. And I mean, after 3 games, anybody that wants to go to the Lions game, just let me know, and I'll tell you to go straight to the ground, and you'll be ushered in for free anyway. But that's another side. That we'll get to another stage. So there has been money. There've been nibbles. You know what I mean? It's a little bit random, other than, you know what I mean, what we know about the Titans and what we've seen last year. I'm a big believer that the Sharks outright, to me, that's a standout. I think that if I had to give a few standouts that I think at short price, I think the Sharks outright's a standout to me. And I think the Jaguares are a standout to me outright. I think that they'll give the Lions an absolute hiding, you know. And then, you know what I mean, the rest of them, well, they're either too short or you have to take your chances with the handicap. And I mean, I think it's just guesswork this weekend. So, I mean, I think keep your powder dry. You know what I mean? Have a few small bets. You know what I mean? Depends what type of punter you're on. Maybe shirts. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, Brent, take a treble, 3 of your good teams outright. Don't get too involved. You know what I mean? We got a lot of rugby between now and when this tournament's sorted out. And then there's also, like we say, 6 nations. But you want to go through each game? I'm very keen to hear what you think about each game.
Yeah, look, let's go through the games there. So the Blues up against the Chiefs first up, and I'm just pulling them up on your site now. I know the handicap's sitting at about plus 2.5 points. The Blues, it was plus 5.5 early in the week. And yeah, I was on. I like the look of the Blues at plus 5.5. I never got the early price, but I do think the Blues can win this game, Gary, and I'm expecting them to win this game as slight underdogs.
Okay, well that's excellent. You know what I'm saying, Brent? If you want it is, you know what I mean, just send it through. Just send a WhatsApp through. Just because I know you're working hard and you're in Stellenbosch, you know what I mean. If you're looking for just a small bet for yourself of 500 to 550 plus 5.5. I'm happy to give that to you. Just send it through on WhatsApp, and I'll make sure that it goes onto the system tomorrow. Totally Excellent. Up to you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Great. I appreciate that, Gary.
Only because you're such a long-suffering, call it, Blues supporter, right? I mean, and if they do win one game in a season, I'd hate you not to be on that game. You know what I'm saying, Brent? And so, if you want it, by all means, you know what I'm saying.
Henrik saying he'll definitely take you up on those tickets sometime.
Brilliant. Anytime you want, just give me a couple of days. The more notice you give me, the easier it is. But you know what I mean. That's fine. So,
interesting that Henrik says for him. Geez, sorry, I don't know if you heard that. There's a massive thunderstorm here in Joburg at the moment. I thought I'll explain what that.
The first bang was the thunder. The second one was you crapping in your rods, right?
Exactly. Well, we had a hell of a storm earlier, and it's come back now. But interesting that Henrik says that for him, the time to make money in Super Rugby is at the start, before the bookmakers settle. And it's interesting because my experience has always been different. I've tended to come out firing in Super Rugby. And 3 weeks in, I'm almost deflated. I've done my absolutes, you know. So I suppose it depends on the sort of homework you put in.
Yeah, I've got a friend. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? He wouldn't even name anyway. I doubt whether he watches the show. He has a system, and he's pretty good. Trust me, he's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And he has his system. All the information goes in. You can't believe how much goes in, Brent. And he did his money last season because the system only clicked in later that it started to show big results. It was a huge fan, for argument's sake, of the Rebels, right?
Yes.
Hey, Kevin. But what happened is it took the Rebels so long to get going before his system really kicked in and started having big successes, you know? Look, I guess it's just whatever happens to you with, you know what I mean, how you are as a punter. I'm a big believer that somewhere in between. I'm not saying for 1 second that Henry shouldn't be firing in week 2 or week 3 or week 4. You know what I'm saying? Those are still easy, you know what I mean, early days. But I just think for me, I just think that there's so much, most are battled early on the first week in Super Rugby, but you know what I mean, I probably kept that form going for the next 17 weeks anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what's the difference? But I would say, let's see. I'm keen to see. I hope Henrik sends most of his business our way, and then I can comment he won mine next week and tell you how he did. You know what I'm saying? Bearing in mind, he comes from a pretty high platform, Brent. I mean, obviously he's a hugely successful rugby punter. So I'd be willing, if he's happy, I'd be willing to tell you how he goes this week. You know, I won't give you exact numbers, but I'll tell you. You know what I mean? How good.
Excellent. Well, Gary, one of the big games tomorrow for me, perhaps the game of the weekend in many ways, is the Sharks against the Bulls. Now, funny enough, on the topic of Hendrik, we know that Hendrik's quite well invested in the Sharks long-term, top SA conference and that. This is a massive game for them because I can't count the number of times that the Sharks have gone into the season optimistic and have actually come unstuck at home in the early weeks. And now they're playing a Bulls side that certainly, I mean, is missing quite a few, players that aren't going to be coming back that have left them. But it's not the worst-looking Bull side. Now, punters seem to be unanimous on the Sharks on this one. And yeah, I'm also on the Sharks, but I'm a bit nervous about it.
Yeah, you've got to be nervous about the Sharks for the exact reasons that you've said. They are serial let us down. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, Brent. And it always seems to happen early on at home, and they play the biggest garbage, and they get beaten. And then, like we said last week, they go on tour, and they end up, you know what I mean, whacking the Brumbies and whacking the Waratahs and think, they've turned the corner, and then they go and they get a draw at the Chiefs, and you think fantastic, and then boom, the next time they win a game is 6 weeks later again, you know. So, but this is, in my opinion, you can never say do or die at this stage of the season. Obviously not, but this is crucial for them. They need to get off to a start, and they need to get off to a good start, and they need to get off to a start where their backs can go and show how good they are, because that's where their strength's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And if they have to go and, you know what I mean, grind out a Dow, you know what I mean, 12-9 win or something, I don't think that would be good enough for them. But I like them a lot. I'm not that nervous, Brent. I think that we're going to see a good performance from them tomorrow night.
Should we do our first competition on this game, Gary? Because I'm pretty sure everyone will be watching this one.
I want to do a competition on every game, right? So we're going to go 500 on every game tonight, then 1,000 next week on every single game. We're going to have a Met competition of 5,000 Rand, and we're going to have an overall Super Rugby competition of 10,000 Rand as well, which obviously will be difficult. But remember, next week it will be 20,000 and 1,000 on each game. So let's go back to the Blues game. Let's just go shirt numbers in the Blues game, total shirt numbers, and you have to be within 3 points. So you happy with that, Brent?
Yes. Okay, total shirt numbers. Should we make it within 5? Because it's quite tough on the shirts, Gary.
That's fine.
You got to be within 5. So it's total shirt numbers, and what's it, a 500 Rand voucher up there?
And for that one, and next week, game 1 will be 1,000 Rand voucher. And you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Remember something, you're only playing against the guys that are on the show. So it's not as though you have to get it right. You know what I'm saying, Brent? Right. Game 2, Sharks at Bulls.
There is a game in between. Do you want to cover every Super Rugby game? Because there is the Brumbies Reds as well.
Yeah, which is the game in between?
Brumbies Reds.
Okay, Brumbies Reds. Let's go for winning team and the exact points that they win by. You have to be within 1, because I don't think that one's going to be as difficult.
Okay, so which team's going to win and by how many points? You must be within 1. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So
Sharks
team and margin.
Sharks game, and let's do this as well, because it's a Sharks game. Every week I'll allow you to choose a game, Brent, that you make your game of the week, and we'll double up there. We'll call it happy hour, right? So this one will be for 1,000 Rand, okay? And then next week you'll go 2,000 for happy hour. Let's have what should we go for here? First try scorer, and within 10 minutes of when he scores the try.
First try scorer, who's going to be, and you must pick the minute, and you've got to be within 10. First try scorer. So that's not too tough, the minutes, because we expect to try him in the first half. So it's all about finding that first try scorer. Now, that's in the Sharks game. So I can see the guys are, the entries are coming in so fast. I'm struggling to track. Lots of guys going on the Blues shirt. Obviously,
she says, what I've done to you tonight, if you ever speak to me again after this,
look,
ridicule, right?
I'm actually taking a day's leave on Monday to actually figure out who won what.
I promise you, from next week, I'm going to get one of my admin staff to follow. They need to watch the show, even if it's not live, Brent? And then at least they need to start doing the job that they meant to be doing. You shouldn't be working.
I'll tell you where the fun's going to come in here. The fun's going to come in here where we get guys who are late to the show, but figure out from the earlier ones, because they can still see the comments. So they start commenting on the Blues game towards the end of the show. That's going to be fun.
This is maybe a night.
That won't be bad. It won't be bad.
Robert Jamona sent me a message saying that he can't make it tonight, but he's going to also want to jump on late, I'm sure. I wonder if Zach's watching. You know what I'm saying? If Zach's watching, I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about the.
I haven't seen him comment yet. We've got a couple of. Peter, who's a recent winner, he says Brumbies by 6. Henrik, Sharks, Mapimpi, 13th minute. We've got Jason going for Mapimpi. Josh Strauss, that's interesting, in the 12th minute there for Oracle. So we've got plenty of guys coming in on these first three games. And Henrik, you probably summed it up quite nicely there. Admin nightmare, but no, it's really not too bad. I'm in the 12th minute, says Vin. Okay, so that's the first three games done and dusted, Gary. Now, that's as far as I've got with my previews on the Good for the Game site. So I'm quickly popping onto your side. And we've got the Sunwolves against the Melbourne Rebels as the next game.
Okay. So, again, I mean, I think the Sun will probably, I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Sun. I haven't been able to work them out for the last two seasons. You know what I'm saying, Brett? They just the difference between their good games and their bad games is so vast, right? It's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to say. This is definitely a game where I wouldn't be having a bet, right? I really wouldn't be having a bet here. But I'm sure Henrik will pop up and say that we should be, that there's a good reason why we should be. But for me, I wouldn't know where to go. I'm going to say, sure, I wouldn't even give my advice. And I mean, my advice would be to just tread very carefully on this one. You know what I'm saying? And let's jump in.
It's a big handicap, 17.5. The general consensus out there is that the Sunwolves have lost, obviously, a lot of players. And a lot of people fancy the Rebels to be the Australian team to watch. And we always say don't read anything into warm-up games, but they were awful in the warm-ups. But I
mean, the truth is the Rebels I think they will be the best of the Australian sides. Not that that's anything, you know what I'm saying? That's like being the best poker player in your poker school, right? But I'm only pulling your leg. Let's go here. Let's just go total combined points, you know what I'm saying? I bring for 500 and you only have to be within 5.
So total points combined, and you've got to be within 5. The problem that I have actually mainly with the show is if I could write neatly, it wouldn't be so bad. Because I scribble it down, and then after the show, I look and I can't read the thing.
It was, right? But you always watch the show again, you know?
No, that's what I do. That's what I do. Then I watch it again, and I pick it up, and I can pause it and make notes on that. So that's, in the Sunwolves game, guys, we want the total points combined, and you must be within 5 to win that one. Let's have a look at the next game then, Gary. The Crusaders against the Waratahs is a big handicap here. I haven't looked at your site right now, but I know it's sitting somewhere around 18.5 points. And it's really hard to go against Crusaders, isn't it?
It really is, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, they are playing a really poor side. There's no doubt about that. And it's a side that they put on 50, 60 points on them before, you know what I'm saying, when they weren't that bad, Brent. So, you know what I mean? I'm expecting a rugby score. Yeah, this would probably be, if you force me into a handicap bet, this would probably be, if the conditions are good and I'd wait to see it, this would probably be my one. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Crusaders win this by 25, 30 points. I really wouldn't, you know. So, what do you think, Brent? Do you think that these Australians can keep it tighter than that?
No, I'm expecting the Crusaders to pull clear and win comfortably. Look, it is a big handicap. And what I am going to do on a lot of these games, Gary, look, I'm watching a lot of kids' water polo this weekend, so I'm not sure which games I'll be watching. But those that I am, I'm also planning to be a bit patient at the start. Let's see how the game flows and potentially getting involved at halftime. I've tried. I'm not one for in-running betting during the game because what I find is just as you're getting your bet on, then someone scores a try and it gets a bit chaotic. So I like the markets to settle at halftime and then have a look at a total points play or something like that. Yeah. So I'm sounding very disciplined. Probably by Saturday morning, I'll just be betting on anything that moves.
Yeah. Once you got total shirts in this game and it's, finishes, 9-3 or something, that will be the end of you for the rest of the weekend, punting on everything, including the Kuwaiti under 23 soccer. But let's hope you get off to a good start and you don't have to go and tilt there. So, okay, so this game here, let's go. Sure. Should we just go something completely different here? Let's go first player to get a yellow card.
That's a nice one. First player to get a yellow card. And that's now in the Crusaders Waratahs game. First player to get a yellow card. And I'm going to ask the guys for the minute there as well, so we can have a decider if it's close. So, in other words, in the 45th minute or whatever.
Let me just tell this guy something. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think that more than 2 people will get this, Brent. I think
that's true.
Should be okay with the dead heat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's do that. And guys, I just want to ask you one favor, just quickly to the guys in the live chat. Most of you are doing it, but just mention the game that you're doing the competition for as well. It'll just make the admin that a little bit easier. Don't worry if I can see up ahead some guys have mentioned total points. I'll know which game it's for, but just mention the game that it's for. And what we want to know is the first player to get a yellow card. I I like this. Is no yellow card also an option here, Gary?
Yes, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you know what I mean? I want to give it away. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay, first play to get a yellow card. It's 500, and that is the Crusaders up against the Waratahs. So you'll be hoping for. Oh, I must ask one other question of clarity, Gary. Just a technical one. A red card, does that count as well?
Yes, absolutely. You know what I'm
So
saying?
the old.
If you choose a guy and he gets a flat out straight red, I'm going to double it for $1,000. You know
Okay, excellent. So if he gets a straight red, we'll double it. So we got a few predictions here. Scott Barrett, we got Ruan Fourie going. Scott, thanks for putting the minutes in, Ruan. But we will just say it's a dead heat if two guys get it. We got Hooper first yellow. That's Donnie DeToy coming in with that one. So some interesting selections coming in there. And that takes us on to Stormers up against Hurricanes. Now, Stormers trading here, Gary, at 8-10. Hurricanes 12-10. There's been some quite big shifts in this market, and that's in your part of the world. My first question is, are you going to the game?
No, I have to obviously work, Brendan. It's a really busy day, you know what I mean, with bet and everything. And I mean, unfortunately, most of the games, if I do go to any games, and I would like to go to Newlands one more time before they close it up, it would probably have to be a Friday night game if there is one. But yeah, I will do my best to get back there before they close it up forever and turn it into, I'm sure, a wonderful commercial development. They're making more beers. But, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's life. It moves on. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to the stadium. You know what I mean? I can see the stadium from here. I'm going to be there on Friday night. But, yeah, I won't go to the game, unfortunately. But like I said, I do have a friend that can get us tickets, so we will help with that. Is that your wife telling you that you've got to go and help with the
No, it's my daughter walking through.
Okay.
She's in the checklist here, so good to see her school book in her hand.
Yeah. And yeah, probably with Crib knows what to do in the water polo. But so let's go back to this game. I'm a big Stormers fan this season, and I'm going to stick out my neck out and say that they're going to start off with a win. I think that, I'll be honest with you, I think they're a good side. I think they will be a good side. I know how hard they've been training. I know exactly what their regime's been and everything. And I mean, I saw full contact sessions that they were having in December that I promise you now. You think that the thunder was loud, Brent? That was proper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go and say that I'm going to really, from me, you know what I mean? I just think that I like the Stormers. I'm going to have a nice bet on the Stormers, and I'm comfortable with that one. So, yeah, what do you think, Brent? Do you think that the Hurricanes come here and give us a harding like they normally do?
No, I like the Stormers as well. I'm on the Stormers. The one thing I will say is, like the Sharks, I've often had high hopes for the Stormers at the start of the season, and then they've gone and lost disappointingly. But I do think we got the right mix here. In fact, Stormers are my outside fancy for the tournament, Gary. Took a bit of 25-1 about them. I think they're about the 22-1 mark. Not going crazy, but I mean, the reality is that whoever tops the South African conference, you know, they guaranteed a sort of a home playoff or whatever. So, you know, they get, if they can just do that, they could be in there with a shot. So,
Definitely. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a lot of people's logic that have gone for the Sharks as well. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I'm going to go for the Stormers this week. I do like them, and I'm not convinced about this Hurricane side yet. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see a little bit more from them before I can just say that. You know what I mean? Well, that's pretty. You know what I mean? Pretty brave by Johan, but
he's asking for a Hurricane stretch. They're 12-10 at the moment, Gary.
12-10. I'll tell you what I'll do for you, Steve. How much you want to put on, Steve? Put a number there, and I'll tell you what I'll lay you.
Okay, Steve, we'll wait for him to put a number. I'll bring it up when it comes in. Gary, what are we going to run on this game then?
What the first scoring play will be and the time of it have to be within 3 minutes, Brent. I mean, you should get that, you know.
Okay. And just so, guys, what we want there is, for example, Stormers penalty in the 8th minute or Hurricanes try in the 11th minute. And you must be within 3 minutes.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's fair enough. 3 minutes. First scoring play within 3 minutes. Great.
Okay.
So we'll get the guys coming in there. Let's have a look. Steve says he wants to win 10.
I'll allow you 10. I'll give you the best price in the world. 10 to 7,500. Draw no bet.
10 to 7,500. Draw no bet. Steve, just confirm that you're happy with that.
What? It's a fish. I couldn't see what his sign was there. I was trying to work it out. I don't know if it was a
Yeah, I also can't quite make that out. By the way, we got our rugby show coming up at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to have Oracle Rugby, who's been taking a bit of a break, but he's back. We're also going to have Henrik on the show and Couch Critic, so we're looking forward to that one. And we did a 7 show at 7 o'clock this evening. Some of the boys made a fortune on the 7s last weekend. So we had a show on that as well. I still haven't got into the 7s as much as the other guys, but the younger punter definitely seems to enjoy the 7s.
You know, talk about the younger punters. The other day I was watching on Showmax. I actually finished it last night. The Survivor, Millennials against Gen X, right? Sweet Steve. Just ask Steve if you can just. I'll send it through to the office. It's confirmed. You know, I'll send it through to the. So they had Millennials against Gen X, right, to start off with, and they 10 contestants from each side. Absolutely brilliant, hey, Brent. But the main thing was the difference between the people that have been born in this millennial, right, compared to the rest of us normal human beings. You know what I'm saying? What a bunch of retards. You know what I'm saying? I could not. Unbelievable. This is a generation that can never survive. I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? They can't put together a sentence. They think everything's funny. They don't know what hard work is. You know what I'm saying? They think that you can have an orgasm by sending dirty messages to somebody on WhatsApp. No, these folks are in big trouble. I'll be honest with you. Big trouble. Anyway, I know you got kids. We won't get much further about this.
No, but you raise some good points. There's some characters out there at the moment. And I always say, I don't know what some of these people are going to do when they actually get out and have to fend for themselves in the world.
No, I swear I don't know. I promise you I don't know. But, yeah. Okay, should we shoot on there? Let's go. Let's see what else we got. How many more games we got?
Well, I think we got I think it's just the one game, yeah. And it's a late one. I believe this one, they've changed the kickoff. I'm not sure. I heard someone say it's only kicking off at like 1 in the morning or something now on Sunday. I'm not too sure about that. But it's a Hagiaris against the Lions. I'm quickly popping onto your site, and I'll give you the handicap here. 10.5 points. It's been a lot of money for the Jags. Gary, I know a lot of the boys on our website, good for the game in the forum. A lot of them took the early -6.5. It's now 10.5. I don't know, that's about where I would expect it to end up.
That could be overdone, you know what I'm saying? 6.5, I think, was far too low. 10.5, I think, is probably too high. They're not a team that murder you every time, you know what I'm saying, Brent? And I mean, it's one thing for sure. It's one of the worst places to watch rugby on TV from, you know what I'm saying? I just hate it, you know? Were you born this? No, man, you couldn't have been born now, Chris, in this millennium. Anyway, okay. You see, but that's what I'm saying.
What year were you born, Chris?
And you know what I mean? Our generation put a picture of our dogs. You know what I'm saying, Brent? He puts a picture of a koala bear. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so let's go. We've got to have a bet for this game. I'm going to make it really difficult because they have to. First, Jaguari try scorer. You have to spell his name correctly. An incorrect spelling, and you're out. Right.
I can see guys pulling for the team sheets now, trying to look for the spelling.
Exactly. And all you have to do is say which half they'll score the try.
And which half. So it's I actually don't even know any of the Jags players' names anymore, but I know Creevy's gone, but if it was Creevy, it would be Creevy in the first half, and then that will be your entry, yeah.
Yeah. So there, I think we're giving a lot of prizes there, Brent. And then we got to have one. I said we're going to have one. What did we say we're going to give for this one? 10,000 rand.
For the Met, I think you said, eh?
No. The Met we're going to give 5 grand. I think I can't remember, but we're going to give it 10 grand overall rugby for super. You know what I mean? For all the games combined, right? But we're going to make it tough because we're going to roll it on and on and on. So let's go with you have to give us a try scorer from every single game. No try scorer counts as well.
Okay.
And the total amount of tries scored within 3, and total amount of points on total amount of tries that are scored. Also, remember, penalty tries are going to count as well. Total amount of tries scored have to be within 3, and total points for the weekend, including the Fridays and the Sundays. You know what I mean? For the first batch of games, and that you can be within 30.
Okay, so that's for 10,000. So just to confirm, now what I'm going to suggest, Gary, this will be too much for the guys in the live chat. I'm going to suggest that they email me, Brent@goodforthegame.co.za, and it's got to be before the first game starts tomorrow morning. And they can give all this, because what we're going to have is a try scorer from every game, and no try scorers counts. Total amount of tries over the games, and total points. And the tries must be within 3.
But that scores a try in a game, Brent? Anybody.
Sorry?
You don't have to say. So you just say, here are the 7 games. I think that, you know what I mean? PP score a try. I think that whoever will score a try in that game, whatever it is, right? And that's where you go. Spelling also, guys, just in case we get one of these Japanese guys, and you know what I mean? Just now, there's an argument. We're gonna have to make sure that the spelling's right. You know what I'm saying? And initials, you can't send something into South Africa's game. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If there's more than one Snyman, make sure you stick his initials.
Excellent. I just thought I wanted to bring this one up. I thought very impressive spelling there by Ruan Fourie.
No, brilliant, Ruan. That is world class. I like that little, whatever you want to call it, cuppy or whatever it is on top of the A there. Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's got to be worth the 250 Rand free bet straight away, Brent?
Excellent. I agree with you.
Put Ruan down there for a 250 free bet straight away. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Excellent. Well done, Ruan Fourie. Okay, so guys. This you can email me, brent@goodforthegame.co.za. You can email me all of those. You can ask any questions on the forum we'll open. You know, we got chat about GG Gaming or whatever. You can ask questions there, but it is for the guys who are watching the show. I'm not going to print it out anywhere else or whatever. It's for the guys who watch the show either live or if the guys come in, because we do get quite a lot of people watch the next morning and that sort of stuff. So this one could be for anyone there because it's really hard to get. But if you do get it, it's 10,000 Rand. It's certainly not impossible. Falau Fayanga, I think his name is, the Brumbies hooker. I mean, he's almost a guaranteed try scorer in that game. So it's certainly not impossible to get. But, Gary, I think we must I'll run that one from an admin point of view for the email. Let's talk a bit of, I think we must leave everything else and just go straight to the Sunmet.
Yeah, let's jump straight away there. Other than to say, you know what I mean, I think that Djokovic will give these millennials a crack as well, like we said last week in the tennis. I'm sure that he will. But let's jump on to the Sunmet. So, what time do you want to call it on the show, Brent? Do you want to call it?
We can call it 5-2. We got a few minutes. Just Oracle raising the question here, Gary, whether spend this weekend counts. Now I know the intention is that they would have spent it up until the start of the show. Given that we only came up with the condition now, sort of thing, should we give the guys a little bit of leeway for this weekend?
This weekend counts, provided. Yeah, this weekend counts, but you can't do it after the effect, Brent. So what I'm saying is, if you want, you know what I mean. So whatever you use this weekend, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I just want to also, before I forget, that Steve's got his bet in the rugby there. I don't want them to forget. 10 to 7,500. But yeah, let's get on to it, Brent, and let's get on to the race. You know what I'm saying? And see what we can see, if we can pick it. Brent, I mean, remember last time we made a profit for the guys. Shouldn't we do that again this time? Shouldn't we take a pick six and a quartet again?
We can do that. I mean, that was in the Summer Cup. Now we spent, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we spent 3,800 Rand on the pick six and we lost. And we spent 200 Rand on a box trifecta.
5 million. Yeah, then we spent 160 and we got back our money times 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So let's do this, Brent. Let's let the guys invest 300 Rand this time, right? And we'll split it up. We'll split it up. 150 of it we'll put into a pick six for each guy, 100 into a PA, and 50 into the quartet.
Okay.
Just remind me about that as well. But let the guys send you the 300. Guys, let's do that. We're going to have a big win again. You know what I mean? Last time the guys showed a profit. Let's jump in and do it again now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there you go. Do it again. Maybe that's an omen, Brent?
Could be. Welcome to Be Strong.
But it's good English, right? I couldn't say, guys, put your money in and let's warm again. You know what I'm saying? And you would have thought that I was a retard that fallen on my head, you know? But, yeah, what do you think of the brace, Brent? What are your...
Look, I haven't studied hard, but I do know I like Rainbow Bridge, Gary. That's my one. I know Southpaw has put a preview up on our site, and he's good at finding the lurkers as well. I think he likes Rainbow Bridge as well, but I'm going to have a look for it. So yeah, not a firm view, but I do think Rainbow Bridge could be the one. That's probably what I'm going to have a win bet with. Just to mention, the guys are all coming in. That's great. They're in. I just want to quickly touch on the admin of this, Gary, because rather than the guys pay the money now, I think your commitment, everybody trusts each other here. You're committing, you're in for the 300. If it loses, you deposit it. Should we say you deposit it into your GG Gaming account next week?
I agree.
And if it wins, you credit the GG Gaming account. Guys can do what they want with it.
100%. And if you know what I mean, and they can put the money now, they can put it in on Monday, whatever's easier for them. We're going to do it on trust. And remember, they can't take more than one ticket. The important thing is I just say to you who they are and how many they're doing. Great. There's Henrik. There's a wise man. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff. All right. So let me get on to the Met and tell you what I think about the main race. First of all, I'll tell you that we probably, just so you know, before you put in your 300, we're going to go, we're either going to bank a Queen Supreme or go Queen Supreme and Celtic Sea, but we're definitely going light in that race. And in the Met, we're probably only going to go with the top 4 horses, which will be, I may even leave out a Warm. I might, but there'll be a lot of crap if I do and it wins. So probably a Warm, definitely Vardy, definitely Rainbow Ridge, probably Do It Again as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're going to go. So let me just touch on my first fancy, which is Rainbow Bridge, other than the fact that, you know what I mean? They say he's a difficult ride. I don't know if he is. You know what I mean? I have to take it that he is from jockeys that have ridden him. I lost my jockey license when I was 6 years old and started to weigh 92 kilos. But so I wouldn't know what an easy ride or a tough ride is other than the tough ride I get from my wife on a daily basis. But they say he's a hard ride. But you're bringing out a guy called Ryan Moore, who is by far, well, not by far, but he's one of the top 3 jockeys in the world. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think he'll manage it. It will be windy on the day, most likely. The secret then is to get cover. You can't be left out in a race like this and not have cover. Hey, Brent, that rain will kill, that wind will kill any horse. You know what I'm saying? And that might be where Ryan Wood, you know what I mean, lacks a little bit of experience. But he's ridden all around the world. I'm expecting a cracking ride from him. I think all his detractors will be left stupid at the end of the race, and he'll come flying to get up and win the race going away like the horse did last year, right? My second choice is Vardy. And, you know, I just worry about Hawam. I'm not saying it's a bad horse, and I don't want to get insulted by the people. He has a huge following, the horse. But I'm not sure if his last run was his true form or if a lot of it came down to what happened at the start. But I can't be taking 5-2 a horse, you know what I mean, which you don't know what's going to happen. And the fact is, that's alarmed me in itself, that this horse, just there hasn't been enough betting interest in it yet, you know what I'm saying, Brent? And, you know what I mean, I'm not sure about Hawam. Good luck to them if they win. I promise you I won't be pulling its tail. I hope to see another champion, and it's fine. Vardy, like I said, Greg Blank, you know what I mean, a great mate of mine, a great gentleman in every single respect of the word. And, you know what I mean, I'd be very happy for him and his mates if that wins. Rainbow Bridge, that's my first choice. Do It Again. Again, I think that the horse I can't write it all, but I think that there's something amiss there. I know the snakes, and they know what they're doing, and they win this race regularly. I just think that he needs to prove to me that he's back to his best. One World had a tough season. And then below it, you know what I mean, the head honchos, the undercover agents, there's a one that they're all possibilities to come into the back end of Quartets. And then obviously the one that I think, Twist of Fate, is the one that I think going to be a big runner there. And if you force me into one of those 100, there you go, 16-1 is already shortened with us. You know, even eyes wide open, back end of Quartets, don't leave him out. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth, you know. But it's going to be a great race. And let the guys put in their 300s, their 600s, whatever they want. I'm pretty sure we get a nice return.
Yeah, I think definitely. What we'll do, because there's so much for guys to sort of absorb towards the end of the show, if we can say, Gary, I'm going to I'll put a bit of a summary down below the video after the rugby show, and I'll also carry a summary on the Good for the Game forum. What I'm going to suggest, let's call it the 10,000 Rand one. If you're happy with it, I'm going to put it in my newsletter tomorrow that goes out every Friday morning for the Good for the Game. We'll let guys email in on that one for the 10, because it'd be nice if we get a good few entries for that. And that's the one with the try scorer. So if you are on the list, there's a subscription link to it. I'll send that out tomorrow, and the guys can all email me. And I'll also put it out there to anybody out there who wants to come in on the pick six and the PA and all of that sort of stuff as well. They can email me. And the same conditions will apply, though, for guys. Anybody who's into that competition will obviously have to spend some money if they're going to win the full 10K.
Let's just do this, Brent. Let's incentivize the guys to join us, because we want to take as big a pool as possible. The 300 rands that you put in to join the syndicate for the tote, that will count. If you do catch a prize, that will count as 300 rand extra that you have spent with GG Gaming, you know? So, you know what I mean? So That's good. You know what I mean? That will count for them as well. There's a little bit of an incentive. Let's try to give away a 5,000 Rand betting voucher. So like I said, so somebody catches a 5,000 Rand in the Met. They must have spent the money before the Met. They can't then go and take, you know what I mean? 10
Yeah,
Rand
no. Suddenly go spend it, yes.
You can't go and construct it. That wouldn't be good. I mean, it's a good faith show, you know? So with the Met, we're not going to make it easy. I want you to tell me, and you can't get it wrong. We're going to choose 5 horses, and you have to tell us their finishing position. So the 5 horses will be, let's do the top 3 in the betting, Awam, Vardy, and Do It Again. And
Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge is in the betting, Gary.
Not Do It Again. Rainbow Bridge, I beg your pardon. I was going to say we leave out Do It Again. So we go Awam, Vardy, Rainbow Bridge, and let's go for 2 down at the bottom there. Let's go for Eyes Wide Shut and Bunker Hunt.
Okay.
Okay,
you want to know where they're all going to...
Yeah, that's it. And let's see what they can do.
So they've got to try to get it spot on.
Spot on. I mean, you know, if somebody gets four right, I'll give them 1,500, and 3 right, they can split the 500 because they'll definitely, people get the 3 right for sure, you know. So we've got 5,000, 1,500, and 500.
Okay, 100%. Great stuff. Gary, I'm going to ask the guys there. I think that we'll run that one by email as well. Yeah. Because we're just run out of time and we've got to get the rugby show going. It's been an incredible chat. Yeah. We did say it was a busy weekend. We could chat to 12 o'clock, and there's no doubt we could. But just to tell the guys before I say goodbye to you, we are going to be live in about 2 minutes' time with the Handicap Rugby Chat that matters. We're going to be talking Super Rugby and Six Nations. But Gary Lentin, thanks very much. You've given me about 14 hours of admin. Can't wait to get stuck in. But listen, I'll be in touch with you. And I'll let you know how many guys we got in on the Pick 6 on Saturday morning. And you'll let us know the numbers.
Brilliant. Yeah. Long before they jump. Brent, thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I mean, I can feel the vibe from here. Everything really seems to be positive. Enjoy a wonderful weekend of sport. We didn't even touch on the Six Nations. I'm not going to give another free bet there and drive Brent even further mad. Guys, thank you. Have a great weekend. Brent, we'll talk on Saturday.
Excellent. Guys, I will give details of all of these competitions on the forum underneath here. Cheers, Gary. Thanks, Emil. And we can catch it tomorrow. But in the meantime, I've got to log off because we've got another show to do.